This is the Lockpicker 1969, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the next episode of Interview with a Lockpicker. Today's guest is Swamp Picker. Say hi.
Hey, crew.
So where are you from?
Well, born in Texas, raised in Kentucky, and currently live down in Florida.
Okay. So what caused you to move to Florida?
My wife's family is from the area we live in and had an opportunity to retire out this way.
Okay. We're going to get more into it later on as far as what you did for a living, but where did the military fall into all of that?
Let's see. It was in the late 70s, 17-year-old kid raised in Kentucky, and it was time to get out and do something, and the Air Force was the right choice.
Okay, cool. So what does your name mean, and how is it significant then?
Good story. When I first started, we'll get into it, but got into some of the live chats on YouTube, and there was another gentleman, Dean P, was on there. My first name is Dean, and it started getting confusing on everybody would say Dean, and I'm pretty sure they weren't talking about me. So, uh, just coming up with down in Florida, my son and I were just joking around, just came up with the name Swamp Picker.
Okay. So how and when did you get into lock sport then?
Probably summertime frame. I'm really into gadgets and tinkering with stuff, and on my Facebook feed, the Covert Instruments Companion Pro showed up is when it was first coming out, and I'm like, that's a neat little gadget. So for my birthday, I got one of those, and I'm like, well, now I need to figure out what to do with it, and it's really don't know what I'm doing, and then finally got into understanding how to at least try to get some locks, and had a bad experience with trying to get some, and then finally got turned on to Mr. Greg Potter through
Okay. Yep.
Facebook, who gave
Good
me
guy.
some really good, yeah, great guy, and does some really good stuff, especially for beginners. And
Yeah.
his little set there was perfect for me, and that's kind of just how it all started out.
So when you were first diving into, like you said you got your Covert Companion Pro. Um, what helped you kind of leap into the next part of what you were doing?
Um, Really just looking around through YouTube, searching some of the channels, and obviously the big names out there, Lockpick Lawyer, Sandman, the others, um, Lady Locks,
Yep. Yep.
DMAC especially, and really inviting to some knock Lock Noob's another one, some new people, and looking and watching them just give some of the basics about tension, and learning some of that, and then just immediately figured out, I'm like, okay, the Covert Companion Pro is probably it's better than what I need right now. One, I don't want to trash the thing because
Yeah.
it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And then decided, okay, let me just start out with the basic set. Went with the Sparrows
Okay.
basic set.
Okay. So how long did that work out for you? I mean,
That was probably
they're good picks and all that, but eventually,
they are. And, honestly, that was a couple of weeks. Once I got the group of locks from Greg, I was like, okay. And then I started watching everybody on YouTube. And I'm like, well, these are a little bit thicker than I want, and they.
yeah.
So this whole pick journey has been just kind of ridiculous. I've got so many different scents now. So I moved from there. Um, Finally got a Lawlock Tools their Ridgeback set, and paid the ridiculous tariffs that we got to deal with now for those. But at any rate,
Yeah.
those are, and I got them on sale, so it was a good price. Had those, enjoyed those, and then and then it just snowballed from there. I got into some Jimmys and Jimmy Longs.
Yep.
I got the Apex set because I like the Covert instruments.
Yep. Okay.
And now I've got some Moki sets recently acquired. I mean, I use at least something out of every one of those sets. It's just depending on what the size is and the profiles of the locks. So
Yeah.
this can get out of control pretty quick.
Yes, it can. One last set you want to get your hands on a set of is Rob Lawn. He's got some
Okay.
amazing. Those things are like tanks. I mean, they take anything you can throw at them, and they'll keep coming back for more. And they're well made. Can't say
All right.
enough
That's on
good
the
things.
list.
So what kind of challenges did you face when you were learning lockpicking?
Um, Pretty much it started off with the quality of lock. I found that, the white locks, man, some of these can be a little bit of a bear, some of the masters. And then I got on the yellow and orange, and I enjoyed those better. I felt feedback a little bit
Yeah.
better. I don't know if it's because I was just handling them more, but the tolerances seemed a little more crisp. It seemed like I get better feel out of them. So working through the pin tumblers initially, and now I just enjoy those all the time. But I'm trying to expand a little bit more, and well, I just think that the entire lock sport process is neat. And you've got so many different kinds of locks. It's just incredible. I mean, you got
Yeah.
dimples and you got disc So I've got a dimple set I'm going to start working on, disc detainers. I
Okay.
got the RWB, so I'm going to get into those. And then now, um, as my lock sport family gets bigger, handcuffs, and it's just kind of growing.
Okay. So you mentioned to me in the interview about the pack lock.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little
Um,
bit?
yeah, so that was one of the initial things, and I, started seeing people get the patches. It's just kind of neat. Whenever you
Yeah.
watch the folks on YouTube, they got all their patches displayed, and that was really intriguing to me. And so I got a pack lock after I got, at least started getting comfortable with the 1100, and got the Packlock 98 Pro. I'm like, wow, this is really a challenge. And I thought this was kind of one of those. It seemed like, and some people had said that it's kind of one of those graduation locks.
Yes, it
That
is.
you kind of getting past the
Some
basic stuff, and
it's a milestone lock.
yeah, and it really felt like it too. So one day just sitting on the couch and what I just watching TV and picking, and all of a sudden it popped. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know what I did to it, and it just I just I was just single man picking it, up and down, and all of a sudden it popped, and that had me at that point going, oh no, I got to get this on camera now. So that's kind of what started, you know, my journey down through some of these patches and the challenges.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember when the American Lock 1100s were blue, I believe, and they moved those down. But
I
those,
still find those as a challenge. I've got probably got a half a dozen of them, and none of them pick the same.
no, they don't.
But, but they're a fun lock to play with.
Yeah, some of them you'll get right into pretty easily, and then others are like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want to say they're comfort, but they're a go-to for me more than probably any other lock of the
yeah.
1100s.
You
Some reason I
know,
just like, and
yeah, you can get into it. It's just a matter of persevering.
it might take a while. You're right. So, and that was thinking. Speaking of perseverance, if we transition into some other patches and stuff, the Blue Whale Challenge was one in particular that I had always wanted to get. And
Yep,
that 10 minutes, and I've watched some of my friends on YouTube get it, and they get the gold star.
yep, yep.
And so that was a challenge I really wanted to do when I was on a live with Texas Rebel, and just going through, and we just happened to be chatting, and I figured, well, while we're here, let's go ahead and do the blue whale. Well, 48 minutes and 52 seconds later, I finally get through the pack lock, and I'm like, well, that counts. So funny thing is, of course, most of the guys in the community are having a good laugh at it, and that instead of the blue whale, I call it the blue snail.
Okay.
So, but someday I'll go back and I'll get the gold star.
So you also mentioned challenge wise that different pins were, and how they feel was a challenge.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, um, serrateds, I find I can really get a feel for those. Some of the other spools, I still have issues with.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to get a challenge lock from Elroy's Toys, specifically number 18. My second challenge lock that I got, and he has. I don't think there's a spool or there's a serrated in there, but there's everything else except those in there, and that was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Understanding some of the as I progressed through the 1100s into the pack, like some of the serrations and the schools and stuff, really helped me a lot there. I mean, and that's really it. I just had to keep doing it and doing it and doing it to get a feel for them because they're, I don't know if it's a crunchy thing or, it's just a feel to them.
Well, here would be a fun pin, a wide spool with serrations.
I'm sure Elroy will probably throw some of those. He's got some just devilishly evil pins that he puts in his stuff.
Good. Well, yeah, he needs to hang out with Jay Gabriel if he hasn't already.
I'm sure. I think they've probably chatted on that.
I'm sure they probably have. If he's making evil like that in his locks, then Jay Gabriel was probably available. It was what do you call involved in there somewhere.
Somewhere he's evil.
Yes,
beautifully evil.
Good. All right, so you touched a little bit about this already, but can you go into a little more detail about how you were introduced to the community? How did you get into it?
Yeah, so initially, like I said, Facebook just popped up, and I got my companion, and then I was looking for some lock sport communities, and I ended up with Art of Lockpicking. It's a great Facebook site, and in there I've met a few people, and one of them was Mountain Mick, and he invited me over to the dog pack, and really got to know that community. I love getting in their lives. So the involvement went pretty quick once I got in the community, and it just started making some, I guess, cyber friends throughout Locksport, and it's been a joy ever since.
Okay. All right. So, is there anything about yourself that you'd like our audience to know about you?
Oh, we'll talk about my career stuff later, but mostly I really enjoy the community, especially when folks are doing lives. I love jumping in on the chat, and on occasion I've jumped in on a live with them. I just enjoy it. It's something that I had within the military community. It was just like a camaraderie. Everybody's trying to help everybody else. I mean, it's just a really fun environment.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned that you were working through the belts. What belts are you at right now?
Officially, I'm at orange. I need to. I'd like to. I had been striving to get each of the belts. I'd like to go ahead and do that. It's really just a matter of doing some gutting, getting through the, at least up to the blue that I've picked to now, and then getting into the more challenging locks. So orange officially, but probably within the next couple of weeks, I'll go ahead and submit a couple of videos to go ahead and jump up to blue.
Okay, cool. Are you doing a challenge lock for that?
I'm going to, and hopefully I can win. Elroy's Toys got a little giveaway he's doing now to give basically everything you need to make pins, which that just seems like a neat little hobby in and of itself. Just making.
Oh pins. Yeah. If you sit there in front of I don't know whether it's a Dremel or some other kind of lathe tool, but making pins, I don't know. I call it pin therapy.
It just seems like a cool little hobby. One, I like to do things. I like model making and things like that. Yeah. So it just fits really well.
Yeah, you can just sit there making pins one after another, and you lose track of time. So definitely.
I'm not sure if I'll sell my soul to the devil like Elroy has to make whatever he's making, but I at least like to get a couple of them now.
Well, I'm trying to get him to come in studio. Unfortunately, that might have to wait till after I've recovered from an upcoming surgery, but definitely have a bunch more stuff to give him to make some more challenge locks with. So
yeah, he'd definitely be he'd be a good interview.
Okay. So I'd like to talk about your YouTube channel a little bit. So what was the original reason for your channel?
I started it years ago just to have a YouTube channel, and it was my original name. And it was just going to be something for family, friends. I do some knife collecting. I was going to show some of those. Never really came to fruition, and then it was just sitting there.
Okay.
Got into the community, and I changed it from my name to Swamp Picker, and there we go. So I've got a few videos on there now, and looking forward to uploading a lot more.
So what do you see as the future of your channel?
Probably just the journey through Locksport. Again, just a beginner. Got some of the basic stuff, some of the patches, and doing inputs for some of the numerous giveaways that are out there. It's a lot of fun to do.
Oh yeah.
And then just kind of, as I put on there, just a journey, the trials, tribulations, successes, and failures
Okay.
throughout the various different lock types
So like a
and
documentation of
techniques.
your journey, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what did you do for a living?
Um, Went in the military, Air Force when I was 17. Became a airborne Russian linguist. Did that for 22 years, flying for the Air Force on RC-135,
Okay.
best airplane in the Air Force.
Okay.
Retired in 2002 from that. Uh, did some contracting work up in Vegas for a little while at Nellis Air Force Base, and then became a government civilian around 2009, doing the same thing I did in the military, just getting paid a little bit better. Uh,
Okay. Good.
Retired from that in 2003 and moved out here to Florida.
All right. So with your retirement, what are some of your hobbies and interests?
Um, my wife, if she was to answer, my hobby is collecting hobbies.
Yeah,
So
mine too. Yeah.
just you name it, and it seems to move. It's not
Hmm.
static. So I collected knives. I like engines. I do puzzles.
Yep.
Collect books, antiques, especially like typewriters. And my wife's a optician, so I have just a bunch of antique um, optical devices. It's just kind of neat. Mostly stuff to just look at. And then, currently now it's locks, and so I started a small collection of locks. I've got a couple lever locks that I haven't gotten into um, tapping yet, but some of the older combination style dial locks and things like that, just a really neat.
No. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's some advice. If you ever are ill and have a high temperature, don't go shopping on eBay because you'll wind up with a lot of locks that you didn't remember ordering.
I found that out, as a matter of fact. It's almost like Christmas every other week. So Amazon's another thing. I mean, I gotta stay off of there.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that.
And that
So
the problem is I get into a hobby and I kind of like initially go a little overboard. So I need to slow down a little bit,
so
temper that.
I do want to talk a little bit about you. You mentioned DCS or Digital Combat Simulator. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, really, I really enjoy the game. I've got a really sweet setup, primarily for the F-16. But when I was in the Air Force and when I was as a government civilian, I basically worked with a lot of pilots and pilot friends, fighter pilots primarily, and quite a few of those guys are into digital combat simulator. Once they, get out of the jet, it just kind of keeps the blood flowing a little bit, and it's quite realistic. So I'll get on and we'll do fly some missions with those guys with Digital Combat Simulator, and a
Cool.
few of those folks also play World of Warcraft, so do the World of Warcraft thing.
All right. So to share with others who may be listening that also play World of Warcraft, what server are you on?
Um, Zenjing, can't even remember how to spell it, but
Well,
Senjing, it's SEN, possibly JN, something like that. But
okay. So anybody that wants to connect with you on that one, they should get with you and get the actual name of the
yeah,
server. And
yeah, hit me on Discord, and then we'll
yeah.
jump in and play. I haven't played in a little bit, but
Okay.
different hobbies take up different times. But
Yes,
I'm
they
definitely
do.
down to play, especially new with the new expansion coming out.
Well, like woodworking. What did you used to do in woodworking?
Oh yeah, so moving here, we're doing some renovations on the house, so I've got a full woodworking shop with
Yep.
lathes and presses and
Yep.
cabinet saws and everything, and mostly small items, nothing huge, no furniture or anything like that, but just boxes, lathes. We turned a lot of bowls, did a lot of pins. Um, really enjoyed the lathe. That's probably 90% of the stuff that we messed with.
Cool. Okay. And last but not least, I want to get into this one. You do model engines.
Yes, love the things. That was another hobby that kicked off a couple years ago. Started off with just little steam engines, then I got into. I love old farm machinery, tractors, and hit and miss engines. If you know what those are, just really neat combustion style engines, and I got into an old little engine called the uh, Flame Licker, just a neat little engine, and then that exploded. So now I have steam engines. I got uh, a small actual V8 engine that actually runs. It's a pretty cool little thing. A lot of people use them. This one's a little big for a RC car, but I've got half a room full of just engines I love tinkering with.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, do you have any thank yous that you'd like to give to any of the Lux Sporters?
Oh goodness, I'll make it quick. One, thank you to the community writ large. It's just an awesome community. I've been nothing but welcome. Um, Whenever I get on chat or anything, just everybody says hello. It's just really fun. Like start out with Mountain Mick. He recently moved down to Florida and kind of got me into the game. Huge thank to Western Massacre, Locksport, Cheese Grits, and NyQuil, and Grouchy Lenny. We did the pack leader together, and um, down to C Stu to what he does with Mitten Maid and the other folks. Outstanding organization. His channel's just fun. Circa Nightmare, who just recently got black belt. Love watching his stuff. Isamu Sushi Labs, Texas Rebels, and Nigby. I just got some of his lever lock picks. They're works of art. I can't wait to get an opportunity to use them.
Yeah.
Some characters out there: Nola Southpaw, Chuck Soup, G-Key-Man, Rusty Spoon, new young lady that has come on in the last month or so, and she's doing great work. Lord Kodiak, brand new. Wild William, obviously. Greyhound, Phantasm Lock Sport, New House Locks and Key, and there's just tons more. But that's the big list of the folks that I got.
So, are there any lock sporters or maybe even non-lock sporters that are in the community that you feel are worth mentioning because they're of note?
Yes. Specifically, there's an artist, and Cheese Grits talks about him quite a bit. Is Stephen Leahy. He is a airbrush artist, and he's on Monday nights, 6 p.m. in there. Go check out his channel. Recently, through Cheese Grits, he's starting to get into Locksport, and he actually painted one of the see-through acrylic locks that I absolutely happen to own. But he's just now getting into it. Great community that they have on that on his platform too. But and quite a few of the Locksport folks are going over and watching it.
Okay. Well, okay. So, last question before we wrap up: what's your favorite thing about the about Locksport?
The community, 100%. It's just a blast, and watching some of the guys go through and earn their belts, it's inspiring, and especially some of the folks like Isamu Sushi, Nightmare, Chuck Soup, and some of the others that go through some detail. One, not only their journey recently that Nightmare did, which I found extremely interesting, but the how-tos on some of these, especially the higher level locks, just very entertaining YouTube content. Really enjoy it.
Okay. Do you have a final message for our audience?
Just thanks for being there, everybody, and just thanks for being so welcoming, especially to the new folks. It's really refreshing to see that.
Yeah.
Just appreciate everybody.
Amazing community. That's why I do this, is to support the community and to help us all get to know one another.
Yeah, it's I'm really can't wait to get a chance to do a meetup with some of the folks.
Yeah.
Down here in Florida. And
that would be
just
awesome.
A really great bunch of folks.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to say this. If you haven't been interviewed yet, please get with me. Let's get something set up. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a black belt and, been doing this forever. we want to hear everybody's story, want to get to know who you are as a person and what your other interests are, maybe even besides lock sport. So definitely get in touch with me and let's get something set up. So with that, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you are a subscriber, thank you. If you are not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications and all, and hit like on the video. And thank you for listening.